Today's IKEA organization video is actually a very special project. This blank room is going to be transformed into my mom's brand new craft room. I'm so excited to gift this to her. I owe a lot of my creativity to her, and I'm sure that's where I get it from. So they recently made a big move, and I decided let's transform this space for her and give her her own brand new crafting space. I love to hit IKEA when I'm in need of organization or if I need ideas in general. Their showroom is a great place to start. I love to look at how they utilize the different products that they carry because it's going to give us inspiration into how we can use it and utilize it in our own spaces. I'm hoping that you find some inspiration in today's video for your own creative space. It doesn't matter if you have a large space or a small space. That's what I love about IKEA because it's geared towards kind of more compact spaces at IKEA anyway, but it also showcases some larger rooms as well. So if you have a larger room, just kind of repetitively add items as you'll see in today's video. And if you have a smaller one, you just get creative and make things compact. Now this crafting space is actually a sunroom and it can be seen from the dining room and a little bit from the kitchen too. So I made sure when I was going through IKEA, I was also looking for some setups and displays that were more homey, more comfortable, a little bit more of a living room setting to give that comfy vibe for the space. So we have a lot going on in this space. Obviously, we want this to be a nice functional craft room, but we also want it to look nice. And my mom kind of gave me a rundown of list of items and purposes of how she's going to be using this space and what she was looking for in the end. So storage was obviously going to be a big factor for this craft space. We grabbed this brimless cabinet, multiples of those for this space, along with some other cabinets from another local hardware store. I did find those cabinets on Amazon and I will link them down in the description box below. They are these right here. So one wall is going to get a row of these. So these are not necessarily IKEA, but we're going to get that IKEA look by lining 4 of these up in a row. So you get a really nice wall of cabinets, but these have a little bit more functionality than the ones that I found at IKEA, which is why we went with these. It's going to give ample storage space, but it's also going to look really nice with kind of a homey vibe on the front doors. You'll see as we get these put together. This is just the first of 4, and then I'll show you these all lined up together as we work through this process. My mom had perfect timing and decided to come home for lunch this day and was so excited to see some of her creative space starting to come together. Here's a great tip. Whenever you're purchasing pre-made cabinets, grab yourself some custom hardware, the ones that fit your style and more the flow of the space and room that you're creating. You're gonna get much more of a custom look that way, and it's gonna look a little more upscale too. So one of the things that my mom requested specifically were drawers. So we have a ton of cabinets now on one wall, but our other wall is blank, so we need some cabinets for that, specifically ones with drawers. So these I actually have in my own craft room. I love them, highly recommend them. So I thought let's add these to my mom's craft room as well. We have 2 drawers on the bottom of these, basically bookshelves. But we also have all of the shelves on top, so that way we have lots of storage there as well, depending on what we want to display or what we want to set out and have handy as we're crafting. The wall that we're putting these cabinets on is actually a little bit longer than the one that we put the 4 cabinets on, so I was able to pick up 5 of these brimless cabinets for this wall specifically. I know everyone gets so worried to put together IKEA furniture, but honestly, these were easier to put together than the other 4 cabinets that were not from IKEA. So don't let it scare you. The twist here is these cabinets have 2 drawers on the bottom, so each one of those drawers needed to be put together too. But like I said, these took less time to put together than the first 4, so not bad. We're gonna line up 5 of these cabinets, like I said earlier, right next to each other to make a really great, grand statement. Now we're looking good already. We need to add those shelves in there though. And you can see just how much storage space we are gaining by adding these 5 cabinets along this wall. in addition to those awesome drawers on the bottom, which is going to help us hide some of the stuff we don't necessarily want to see, which is where those other cabinets on the other side of the wall come into. It's a nice closet, kind of hides stuff away. A big element to any craft space is going to be your work table, right? So this is actually a kitchen island. It's a good size. Same one I have in my craft room, which is why I wanted my mom to have it too, because not only is it a great crafting space, it also has storage on the front side. The back side is open, so you have room for a chair or two back there. And if you want, you can even stand to craft, which is what I do. I rarely sit down while I'm crafting. So she has the option to stand or sit and have even more storage on the front. This one wasn't too bad at all to put together. This is our second one though, obviously, but it's been a few years since we did the first one. I love this one. It has a combination of sort of the white tones and the butcher block, so you get a really warm kind of homey feel with this without it being too craft roomy, if that makes sense. And I will say, by the time we get done with this, it is not going to look like a kitchen island, I promise. So here we are, about at the halfway mark with this. We are going to do something special to this cabinet once we get the bottom side put together, which you're watching here. Before we put the top on and flip it over, we're going to add some wheels to the bottom of this. This is something I always wanted to do with my own craft table, never got around to it, but we're doing it for moms now. Why are we doing that? Well, that's going to give her the option to move around this table or take it out of the room completely if she needs more space. Maybe she's having guests over, even though they have a guest room. They could add even more sleeping space in here if they wanted to, or if she's got a big craft project, she needs to lay something out on the floor. This guy has locking wheels, so she can easily lock it in place or unlock them and move that table out of her way for whatever else she's got going on that she wants to use that space for. Now I can't wait to add these wheels to my own craft table to make it as functional too. If you're looking for these wheels or any of the other products and materials I'm using in today's video, make sure to check the description box below. I will make sure to link everything I absolutely possibly can to make it easy for you guys to find if you want to spruce up your own craft room or needing a complete overhaul like this space. So once we got the bottom on, got the wheels on, it was finally time to put the top onto this table. You can see it's good sized, it just clips on the top. And then it was time for some rug shopping for this space with my mom. So I love spending time with my mom. Shopping is always a fun outing. We went to a couple different stores and Home Goods just really didn't have anything great. We went to At Home and found this gym, which ended up being the winner. And I will say adding a rug to any space is really going to make it feel more cozy and more homey. And this one is going to just blow your mind once we get it on the floor in this room. It is going to take it up a whole new level with having white cabinets. It looked a little stark, a little IKEA-esque. So adding this rug really gave it more of my mom's personality and gave the room that more living room, homey feel that we were going for. Now you probably noticed on each side of the cabinets we have two cords there. I want to share this with you as well because it may come in handy for your own craft space or anywhere in your home. They are these flat extension cords. Very, very cool. We have that row of cabinets and we needed to extend the outlets that are back there to make them useful. Obviously in a craft room, you're going to need some outlets. So these just sit right over your existing outlets. They are flat, so then we can go ahead and move our cabinets and bookcases back into place. They're not away from the wall at all because the baseboards give us enough room to allow for those cords. So it turns out great. Now we have extensions for our outlets. We can go ahead and move our work table into place. My mom helped with a lot of the process of overseeing some of this come together, so it's fun to see her get excited about this space. We kind of have the bones of this and a little bit of warmth of the rug, but now it is time to start adding all the fun accessories. My mom is obsessed with flamingos. Please leave her a flamingo emoji down in the comments below that you approve and love her space too. And the accessories is really what is going to add the organization to the space and also make it look nice and functional at the same time. These glass jars are similar to ones I found at IKEA, but they were sold out. So I found these on Amazon. I'll link them down below. Perfect for adding beads to, washi tape to, notions to, stickers to, whatever you need. I love the cut glass on those two. They look so pretty. Then on the bottom, we are adding some clear acrylic bends. I found these on Amazon. I'll link them down below for you as well. This just adds another element of having more drawers, but they are smaller and you can easily just pull them out, push them back in, add some scrapbook paper to the front if you don't want them to be clear and see-through, which is what I did to mine. So that's a good tip. And then we all just kind of had fun gathering together in the middle of the room, putting together a bunch of the accessories that were going to go on these shelves. Now let's go back into IKEA. I want to show you some of the accessories that I purchased for these shelves. They're actually going to give us some functionality and some storage. I found these really great baskets. I love these because they're not natural rattan, they're more plastic, which said to me that they're going to hold up a little bit longer, a little bit better, especially if you're going to be pulling them off and on shelves. Another item that my mom had mentioned she wanted were some magazine files, something that she could easily put things in upright, pull in and out, but it would also conceal things. So I found these great magazine holders that were also on clearance at IKEA. We all love a good deal, and these are a really great deal, under $5 for a set of 2. So I grabbed 5 packs of these to give us 10 total. And then these are great for your drawer storage too, whether it's an office desk or your crafting supplies. It has that felt look. This is one of those special personal items. I also grabbed from IKEA a couple of these wood frames. This is going to warm up those stark white cabinets like you saw in the jars with the lids, and also the baskets. Another thing I grabbed was some greenery. Absolutely add some greenery to your crafting space. It's going to give it some life and give you kind of more inspiration to keep crafting in your space. So it's super fun to start adding items to the shelves. The plastic stacked things right here are actually for water bottles. My mom loves to do sublimation, so I want to make sure she had a space to put her blank cups. So she even has room on the sides of those to put more if she wants. And then in comes those magazine holders, adding those right to the middle. I love the warm kind of sagey green these are. Very on trend right now. Very affordable. Adds a pop of color in there, warms it up the space. I'm also adding some trays in here for different things for crafting supplies, including a 12 by 12 paper holder. Love this. This is great for vinyl, HTV, and your scrapbook paper. Love those. I also have this in my crafting space as a tiered tray holder for acrylic paint bottles, and then a space for her vinyl as well. So this all is fun to kind of configure and figure out a good configuration for everything. She has that spot in the middle with her personal items too. I love this little center cubby space. It just gives a nice feature place for personal items. My sister and I gave her this custom print from Etsy one year. We also got her a clock for this. She had this flamingo candle that was so cute, and the actual flamingo is from my son. He saw it in the store and said he had to have it for her. So here is the big reveal, the before and now the after. We now have a fully functional craft room here, along with some storage cabinets off to one side to hide some of those things you don't necessarily use all the time, or things that aren't pretty you could put in there. I also suggest hiding your trash can in there. That's what I did with mine, so you don't necessarily see it, but you can pull it out if you need it and put it back. All these things, I cannot wait to see my mom get filled up all of this space with her crafting supplies. She can pull that out of storage now, get it all set up, and get back to crafting, because it has been a little while for her, and I know it is such an important thing for her as well. As we all know, crafting is just really good therapy. So whether it brings you joy, gives you a pastime, is a nice side job, which my mom has used her crafting for in the past too, I hope that your craft space also has some organization, has some personal touches, has some spots in it where you can display some of your favorite things, your special things, some of your works and creations. And that's all that really needs to come together for you to have a space that's functional. Obviously, mom now has her dream craft room, so she hopefully even has some room to grow if she decides she wants to try new crafts in the future. But so excited to give this to her, to gift this to her, and spend time with her creating this space with her too. These large cabinets also come with adjustable shelves, but I gave those to my mom so she can adjust them, put them where she wants them depending on what she's putting on those shelves. So that gave her some flexibility there without having to undo them and redo them again. But it was so fun to finally reveal this space to my mom, kind of walk her through, show her all of the accessories, how she could use some of the things. I loved hearing her ideas on what she would add to the space too, or change, which is totally up to her. I basically just gave her a workable canvas for her to now get creative into. She loved these glass jars though. I think I might need to get some of those for my own craft room. I would love to hear down in the comments below which item or element of this space was your favorite. Don't forget to leave an emoji of a flamingo down in the comments for her as well. And I just had so much fun putting this space together. I also want to thank my husband who put in a lot of time with me too to create this, shop for this, build it, put it into place, and do a lot of the heavy lifting. So appreciate him so much, and I appreciate you guys all for watching too. But I also wanted to give you another big before and after. I'm totally obsessed with before and afters, and I think this one is an incredible one, a pretty big one, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of this video. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next video.